Experts have averred that good mental health is vital to the overall well-being of individuals. Yet, 1 in 8 people globally are believed to be living with one form of mental health condition or the other, which can impact negatively on their physical health, their well-being, how they connect with others, as well as their livelihoods. Now, this is even more worrisome with the rate at which such conditions affecting an increasing number of adolescents and young people. With this year's theme, mental health is a universal human right, the WHO is calling on member states and partners to accelerate efforts in mental health in a human rights-based approach. Now, Psychiatrist-in-chief and mental health advocate, Pinnacle Medical Services, Dr. Maymunah Yusuf Kadiri, joins me on the news to shed more light on this. Thank you so much for your time.
Good afternoon. Thank you so much.
Okay. All right, great. So let's get to it. As the world marks World Mental Health Day today, what does this particular day connote, particularly for people generally?
So World Mental Health Day has been set aside by the World Health Organization to commemorate or celebrate mental health, to raise awareness, to reduce or eradicate stigma and discrimination attached to people living with mental illnesses, to advocate for mental health challenges, investment in mental health funding for activities and advocacy to go to take place. And of course, that create the awareness that mental health is an integral part of our holistic wellness, and it's also part of our day-to-day life. Though we know one day is not enough, we need 365, 366 days, but we are happy that we have one day to celebrate World Mental Health Day.
Now, what are some of the challenges that people often, overlook that could lead to mental health challenges, particularly in this part of the world?
There's so many challenges, and I wouldn't take it away from the fact that, yes, we are in the low and middle income country. Nigeria is part of the LAMI. Are there specific things noted, aligned or that Nigerians face that are different from other parts of the world? Similarly, not so much, aside from, of course, environmental issues and so many other things that go into that take place. But there are general things that people, anywhere in the world, go through to say, okay, this is what the problem is, these are the challenges, these are the causes. So we have the causes, we have risk factors. What can make somebody to, experience a mental health problem? What can make somebody to have a breakdown? What can make somebody to encounter a mental health issue? It starts from when you are a child. In fact, one factor is even before you were born, which is a positive mental health history, which is a family genetic predisposition. So you may not have been born, but there's somebody in the family, grandfather, great-grandparent, somebody somewhere who has had a mental health problem. And so now you are part of the family. Your childhood upbringing, are you coming from a home where there was domestic violent issues? Are you coming from a home where there was divorce? Maybe dad left mom or mom left dad. Somebody had to take care of you and nurture you and groom you to who you are today. Did you experience any childhood sexual harassment, molestation, rape? Those are some of the things that can happen to you as a child, which of course you were not in control of, right? But what are the things that can now precipitate you? Now you are grown, maybe for some reasons everything is going on well. But what can now happen at this point in time as an adult, grown, living in Lagos, working in an urban setting like Lagos, in a stressful environment, or even maybe not even so stressful, but can now tint you into having a mental health problem? The word here is stress. Stress is something that most people just believe that is a negative thing. But I want to let Nigerians know, not all stress is bad. In fact, you need some level of stress in your life to be able to function. We have stress, we have distress. Good stress, good stress. Bad stress.
I want to comment on the aspect of stress, particularly. I would also like to link it to some sort of social stigma too. And of course, this will lead me to two questions rolled into one. The first being we understand that in this part of the world, anything mental, for some people, they seek or see spiritual, they see it from the spiritual angle. And for that reason, they avoid seeing professionals for help. I mean, that for the sake of social stigma. Now, how can this be overcome? That's number one. When can one tell that, okay, at this point you need spiritual help or you need a professional to actually step in? And then number two, this particular report also captured the fact that young people are caught up in the bracket of stress. These days, we know that there's a lot of financial stress and also social media stress, particularly pressure. You look on social media, you see your friends doing better, and of course, that brings some sort of pressure and mental and affects their mental well-being. How can one balance all of this and live well, particularly within this jet age? If you can give me a response in less than 30 seconds.
In less than 30 seconds, how possible is that? But let us try.
But let's go.
Try. Let's try, because like I said earlier on, stress is the major thing that can easily change you to the other side, and stress can come from the fact that you are the one that is stressing yourself, not necessarily others. Like what you said, the use of the social media, people are putting things out there, audio and all that, and you just think that everybody is doing well, except you just know that we are all in this net and this chaos together. The other thing is the fact that, economic issues, financial challenges, relationship issues, those are the things that can easily tempt you into, having a breakdown. Religious and of course, seeking for professional help. We can't take away the cultural and religious beliefs that are holding us down, that are making people just think that it's a spiritual attack, somebody is doing me, it's my mother-in-law, and all that. And like I said earlier on, there are some things that have happened to you that were not within your control. Coming from a domestic violence home, from positive family history of mental illness, these are the things that you're not in control, but they have predisposed you to having a mental illness. So it doesn't mean that you are a bad person. It doesn't mean that you don't pray and fast enough. And so when you now say you have to go and seek a spiritual healer to take care of your mental health, you are wrong. So at what point do you seek professional advice, and at what point do you seek for spiritual healing? There's room for spiritual counseling. There's room for spiritual healing, because when you look at the wheel of wellness, we have the emotional, psychological, physical, financial, career, of course, spiritual. So you can't take that away from the holistic human being. But the thing is that when you start seeing changes that are affecting your activities of daily living, that are affecting your relationship, that are affecting your productivity, that are making you to act up, because when you talk about mental illness, it affects the way you think, the way you act, and of course the way you behave, then you have to seek for professional help. Because if you don't seek for that, it can be so bad and severe that you may have what we start calling psychosis. Start hearing voices, start seeing strange things, and of course, start, believing that the world is coming to an end, or there's something outrightly wrong with you. And that can lead to, you taking medication, going on admission, and sometimes can lead to suicide.
All right. Thank you so much for your time, Dr. Maymunah Kadiri.
Thank you.